Hi paper crafters, this is Colette. Today I want to show you how I make a side step card, and I've chosen to decorate my side step card as a baby dresser card to celebrate the release this month of Kaisercraft's Peekaboo collection. So let's get started. Okay, so to start off with, we need a sheet of white cardstock, and I'm using Kaisercraft's smooth white cardstock, which I do love to use on my card foundations. It's a great weight, and we need to cut a piece of this to 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So here's my piece now already cut, 5.5 inches by 8.5. And what I'm going to do is I need to make a pencil line down the center of this at the 2 3/4 inch mark. And the way that I like to do this is to pop it into my paper trimmer, to pop it down to the 2 3/4 inch mark, which is here, and grab my pencil and then simply run it along the edge of the ruler, and that will give me a pencil line that's nice and straight, and that's what I actually need. So this pencil line is drawn at the 2 3/4 inch mark. So now I'm going to do some scoring on the long side of this piece of card. So this is going to be popped onto my scoreboard. You can use other methods if you prefer. And I don't have any soap at hand. I've actually just moved house and I can't seem to find anything at the moment, so I'm just going to rub the ball tool in my hair to make it glide nicely on the paper. And we're actually going to score at 1 inch. Now we're only going to score down to the pencil line, so just down to the pencil line on the measurements I'm going to give you now. So scoring at 1 inch, just down to that pencil line, at 2 inches, at 3 1/8 of an inch. So that's the one little mark past the 3 1/8 of an inch. And we're going to go to 6 3/8. So just so you know how I'm doing this. So there's the 6, and all I have to do is count 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 3/8. One little notch before that halfway mark. So 6 3/8 of an inch down to the pencil line. Now I'm going to go to the 4 1/4 inch mark, and this time I'm going to run all the way down the length of that card. So at 4 1/4 inches I'm going to run all the way down past the pencil line, right down to the bottom. And that is my scoring done. So you can see here, just to repeat, the scores 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 1/8 of an inch, 4 1/4 goes all the way down, and the last one is 6 3/8, and that goes to the pencil line. And that's basically our card foundation done, except for a little bit of cutting. Now what I like to do is I like to do a whole range of these. I'll usually, if I'm cutting them, I'll probably cut about half a dozen in cream and in white, and they're usually the 2 card bases that I use, and I'll pop these in my tray ready and waiting for when I next want to do a side step card. Alright, now there's one extra step that we need to do, and that's the cutting. Okay, now so for the cutting, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a tiny little pencil mark at the 1 inch score line. Just, can you see that there? Just a tiny pencil mark, and at the 6 3/8 of an inch score line. So the very first to the very last. And what we need to do is we need to cut from that point to that point. And the way that I like to do it is on my paper trimmer. And I'm going to pop that in. So the pencil line is actually on my ruler's edge along here. So you can see that pencil line just there. And I can see now, because I've taken the little pencil lines outside, where I need to start. So I'm just going to pop my blade in there and run that down to the last pencil line. Just do that again. Yep, I can feel that's cut beautifully. So I know it's straight. I know the ruler's not going to slip on me, which is why I like this method. So you can see now I've actually got that cut line. So that is our card foundation finished. What we now need to do is do the folding. Alright, so for the folding, what I've got is I've got those little score steps on the right hand side in front of me. And I'm simply going to take the very first little one, I'm going to fold that back into a mountain fold and just crease that. The next one is a valley fold, so it's got the V, valley fold. And you'll see it does stick up a little bit, the little score line is a little bit higher, that's quite correct. We then do a mountain. We then do a valley, and the last little score line here is going to be a mountain. And then you'll find that the score line that we made over here just folds nicely. So what you're then going to do is to just get your bone folder and score that. Now I'm actually in the process of moving house and I cannot find a thing, so for the video I'm just going to have to use the back of my nail, which really is not good enough. You really do need to give this a good bone fold because that will make it stand up really beautifully. But that's my step card foundation. These cards are just fabulous. You can decorate them with so many beautiful things. And as I said to you earlier, I decided to decorate mine using Kaisercraft's Peekaboo collection. When the collection came in, I knew I wanted to do a baby dresser card. They're very, very cute cards. And this Peekaboo collection, I knew would just look adorable with it. So you can see I've just popped little things inside the step there, and I've made these 3 little drawers. This is the Peekaboo collection 6.5 inch paper pad. I know you love these pads just like I do. So I know in here I've got dozens of little baby cards ready and waiting for me to make up. And these are the Glorious collectibles that come with them. There's a boy pack and a girl pack. So they're just full of absolutely yummy goodness. Very, very cute things that you can use in your cards. So going back to my baby dresser card, what I actually did is at the bottom, I'm not sure if you can see here, I added 2 tiny little score lines just to give it a little bit more of a finish. And to do that, I just grabbed my scoreboard. Excuse me for leaning across there. Now, you want to make sure that you're scoring on the back. So you can pop this down any way that you want. And if you score, this is the step side here. Okay, just zoom that in a little bit for you. So if you score, so you can see all my little steps down here, at the 7.5 inch mark, just go all the way along to that halfway point, and then 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 7 and 5/8, so one little mark past the halfway to give you these 2 beautiful little raised embossed lines. That's going to help in your card. Now to create that lovely little legged look, can you see there? And you can see my little embossed lines. All I did is to use what must be one of my all-time most popular, most used dies, and that is the die from Kaisercraft, which is called the nesting square bracket die. And I just took the little baby one, the one that was in the middle, and I opened up my card like this, and I positioned this in the center, held that down with some printing or some paper tape or washi tape, and I run that through my Go Cut and Emboss machine, or whatever your die cutting machine is. The Go Cut and Emboss cut that beautifully, both layers in one go. If you find that your machine doesn't cut both layers, what you'll do is cut it through just like I have here, then remove the die, flip this one back because that will have cut through beautifully, and then just feel and position this one and then run that through again. But you'll probably find, because these do cut really well, that you'll get both layers of card out in the one go. And that die creates that lovely little kind of dresser look on the bottom. For my drawers, I cut 3 pieces of patterned paper which measured 2.5 inches by 1 inch. I also cut 3 pieces of Kaiser Crafts chipboard which was 2.5 inches by 1 inch, and I stuck those together. That enabled my little drawers to stand proud, as they would do on a proper real life unit. Now I then went ahead and put some of Kaiser Crafts lovely pearls in the centre, and the way that I lined these up was to simply take another piece of paper measuring 2.5 inches by 1 inch, and I simply folded that in half lengthways, and I found the centre point, so I know that's 2 inches, so 1.25 inches my centre point, and then just fold it into the centre there, and the same on the other side. And then you'll know that here and here, those little crease marks, those are your centre points. And all I simply did is, when I had my little drawers, is I got a pokey tool, and I just poked a tiny little hole into the actual drawer that I cut itself, and that enabled me to position my little Kaiser Craft pearls absolutely beautifully into place. Now this little drawer is a little bit narrower. This one I had to cut to 2.5 inches by 3/4 inch. So there's only one of those, and that fits down here, and that was 2.5 inches by 3/4 inch, and that's all I did for the drawers. On the drawers, I've also done a little baby boy one, which I've done here. And for this one here, again, I've cut the drawers from paper, from the paper pad, and just take note how the lines run down as though it's one piece of wood. So just watch out for that when you're cutting your drawers. And the other thing is, I actually tucked behind a little bit of patterned paper to make it look as though a little bit of a blanket was coming outside of the actual drawer. So that's the baby boy one, and you can see I've actually used the beautiful new stamp set, which is called Baby, and I've used the crib, and I cut out a little baby from one of the papers in the pad and stuck him into the crib, and of course the little bunny is here. And you'll notice on the dresser I've got a little hanger that I made, and I just cut a little onesie, and the little baby's bib is on here as well. And you know, as you often have things hanging from cabinets on little baby dresses, and actually even adult dresses, that's what that is there. So that's how I've decorated that one. Very cute, aren't they? And this one here. In terms of your sentiment, you could actually cut and put a lovely sentiment stuck in there, and of course if you wanted you could actually also use the back. So that's my little baby stepper card. Hope you enjoy that. I hope you like it. Now don't forget, you can actually use the side step card for a number of things. It doesn't have to be as a baby dresser. They do look ultra cute. I hope you like them. But you could put all sorts of things on them. So that's my simple, very quick and easy way to do a side step card. My name's Colette. Don't forget to check out my blog for other exciting card projects. And thank you so much for watching. For more details of this card, hop on over to the Kaiser Craft blog, where you'll get full details of exactly what I've used and much more pictures that you can refer to. Bye for now.